Bonjour tout le monde! Hi everyone! Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're doing amazing and I'm happy to see you today for another video. And for today's video, we're going to talk about the animals and the plants, which is in French, les animaux et les végétaux. Introduction. Of course, little phrase in French, découvrons les animaux et les plantes en français. So here, if you want to work on your pronunciation a little bit, try to read that phrase by linking. So you know that in French, we do what we call une liaison. So meaning every time you have a noun that starts with a vowel, you're going to take the last consonant before that vowel and you're going to link it. So here, if you look at les and animaux, the animals, you have your word animaux that starts with an A. So I'm going to be able to link my S with my A. Découvrons les animaux et les plantes en français. Let's discover the animals and the plants in French. First thing, les animaux, the animals. What do we consider animals? Les animaux sont des êtres vivants qui se déplacent, mangent et respirent. Meaning, the animals are living creatures who move around, eat, and breathe. Il y a des animaux domestiques et des animaux sauvages. Of course, there are two types of animals, the pets and the wild ones. So, a couple of examples. First, the cat. The cat, le chat. Of course, animal domestique. It's a pet. The dog, le chien. Chien, animal domestique. It's a pet. To say the lion, same word, but careful with the pronunciation. We're going to say le lion. The lion, le lion. Of course, animal sauvage, wild animal. And the last one, the elephant, l'éléphant, same thing, animal sauvage. Le chat, le chien, le lion, l'éléphant. Let's focus on the pets. So we say the pets, les animaux domestiques. It's literally the animals that you can have at your house. Les animaux domestiques vivent avec les humains. Of course, they live with us. First one, le chat, the cat. Le chat est petit et il aime dormir, meaning the cat is small, is little, and likes to sleep. Second, the dog, le chien. Le chien est fidèle et il aime jouer, meaning that, of course, the dog is known for being loyal and to play, likes to play. And the last one, of course, some people like to have some fish at their house. Le poisson, poisson de fish, vit dans l'eau, lives underwater. So, of course, we have a lot of different pets. Those are some little examples. Le chat, le chien. Then we have les animaux sauvages. Donc, sauvage, wild. Donc, wild animals. Les animaux sauvages vivent dans la nature, dans les forêts, les savanes, les océans. I'm sure you understood what that means, meaning that, of course, wild animals, you're not supposed to have them at your house. They live in some specific places, such as nature, forest, desert, oceans, and we have a couple of different animals. So the first one, the lion, we say le lion. Le lion est un grand chat sauvage, meaning is a big wild cat. Le lion. The elephant, l'éléphant. L'éléphant est très grand et a une trompe, meaning the elephant is super big and has a trunk, une trompe. The bear. To say the bear, we're going to say l'ours. And this one, you have to pronounce the S. Careful. I know that most of the time, you're not going to be pronouncing a consonant if it's not an R. The S you do. And this one, to say the bear, l'ours. L'ours vit dans la forêt. Of course, not always in the forest, but if we talk about the bear, not the polar one, the bear lives in the forest, dans la forêt. And the last one, the moose. To say the moose, l'élan. L'élan, le plus grand des cervidés, meaning like it's the biggest animal of its species. Of course, the moose, very famous and known in Canada. Le lion, l'éléphant, l'ours, l'élan. Now let's focus on the plants. The plants, we say les plantes, but we also say les végétaux. What are les végétaux. How do we consider the plants? Les végétaux sont des plantes qui poussent dans la terre, meaning they grew up from the ground. Ils ont des racines, des tiges et des feuilles. They have roots, stems, and leaves. Ils produisent de l'oxygène. Of course, they make oxygen. Exemple, the tree. If you want to say the tree, l'arbre. The flower, la fleur. The grass, l'herbe. So you know that here, every time we have a noun or a word that starts either with a H or with a vowel, we're going to remove the E or the A from le or la, depending on the gender of the noun. So if I want to say the tree, tree is masculine, so I'm supposed to be saying le arbre. Because arbre starts with a vowel, I'm going to remove my E and put an apostrophe. L'arbre, la fleur, feminine, l'herbe, same thing, putting my apostrophe because of my H. Let's see the different types of trees that we can find. Same as usual, those are just examples. We have a lot more, but at least you're going to be aware of some vocabulary that we use in French. Les arbres, the trees. Les arbres ont des troncs et des branches. Ils peuvent être très grands. Of course, the trees have trunks and branches, and they can be very big. First one, the oak. If you want to say the oak, le chêne. Un grand arbre avec des feuilles larges, meaning the oak, le chêne is a big tree with some large leaves. The pine. If you want to say the pine, le pin. Kind of similar. We just remove the E. Le pin, un arbre avec des aiguilles. Okay, you know how to recognize a pine. Le pin. And then the last one, if you want to say the weeping willow, we say in French, le saule pleureur. Saule pleureur, un arbre qui pleure, a tree who looks like he's crying because of his leaves just going down. Donc, the oak, le chêne, the pine, le pin, the weeping willow, le saule pleureur. These are some examples of trees. Now, let's see the flowers. So, if you want to say flowers in French, it's les fleurs. You see that here, plural, so I have my plural pronoun, les fleurs. Les fleurs sont colorées et souvent très parfumées. Elles poussent sur les plantes, meaning the flowers are colorful and most of the time perfumed. They grew up on plants. First example, kind of similar as in English, the rose, la rose. Same thing. Just be careful with the pronunciation. I know the R is kind of tricky, but this is what's going to make us the distinction between the English and the French. So in English, you say rose. In French, from the throat, rose, la rose. Une fleur, rouge ou rose, that can be red or pink or white, la rose. Then we have the tulip, la tulipe, similar as in English, la tulipe. Une fleur en forme de coupe, meaning a flower in the shape of a trophy. And the last one, the sunflower, you're going to say le tournesol. Careful, this one is masculine. Le tournesol. If you're not sure about masculine or feminine, you just have to look at the pronoun. If you see that the pronoun starts with le, which is le, masculine, la, la, feminine. Une grande fleur jaune, big yellow flower. The sunflower, le tournesol. La rose, la tulipe, le tournesol. Now let's see l'herbe et les plantes, meaning the grass and the plants. L'herbe est une petite plante qui pousse partout, souvent sur les pelouses, meaning that the grass can be found everywhere on the ground. It's mostly found but you can find some grass everywhere. Les plantes peuvent être des herbes, des buissons ou d'autres sortes de végétaux. Meaning, what do we consider plants? We have a couple of different types of plants that can be the grass, bushes, or other sorts of plants. So we have l'herbe. L'herbe is the grass. Then, to say the bush, le buisson. Careful pronunciation on this one. Double S, S sound. Le buisson. And then, of course, that can be sometimes considered as plants because they grew up from the ground. The vegetables, les légumes, comme la carotte, la tomate, such as the carrot, the tomato, and all of those other vegetables. Donc, l'herbe, le buisson, les légumes. Those are good examples, I feel like. And what is the difference between animals, les animaux, et les végétaux, the plants? How do we know? Pretty easy. You're gonna tell me, but at least you're gonna know the vocabulary in French. Les animaux se déplacent, meaning the animals move around. Les végétaux restent fixes. Of course, plants don't move, they stay where they are. Les animaux mangent, the animals eat. Les végétaux produisent leur propre nourriture avec la lumière du soleil, meaning that the plants make their own food out of the sun rays. And the last thing, les animaux respirent de l'oxygène, meaning animals breathe some oxygen. Les végétaux produisent de l'oxygène. Of course, the plants make the oxygen that the animals are going to breathe. So, of course, it's not the same thing. La différence entre les animaux et les végétaux. Hey, I feel that now you are kind of similar with all of the vocabulary between the different types of animals that we have. Remember, we have the animals that we consider pets, which is domestique, and the animals that we consider wild, such as sauvage, and then the different types of plants, such as the trees, les arbres, the flowers, les fleurs, l'herbe, the grass, and everything. So now I have a little exercise for you. You see that here I wrote some words. So let's read what you have to do together. I'm going to explain it to you. And then I dare you to try to do this exercise. And once it's done, either you do it in the comment section, no cheating, comment section, or you try to do it and you send it on our social media so we can see the answer and try to help you out. So, complétez les phrases avec les mots suivants, meaning complete the following phrases with the words. I wrote you here 5 words. Chat, rose, élan, herbe, arbre. You're supposed to know what those 5 words mean. If you're not sure, just go back on the video. You can download this to make sure that you have it and you save it if you want to work on that, but you're capable of doing that. So now you have those 5 words that you need to put at the right place. Let's read the first one. Le est un petit animal qui aime dormir. I'm going to tell you what it means, but I'm sure you know. Don't forget to link everything when you read a phrase. Le est un petit animal qui aime dormir. Second one, le deuxième. La est une fleur rouge ou rose. Okay. Second one. L'apostrophe vit dans les forêts et est très grand. Très grand, very big. Donc, okay. Vit means to live. Ensuite, l'apostrophe est une plante verte qui pousse dans les jardins. Jardin, garden, qui pousse, that grow up. What grows in the garden? You have to tell me. And then the last one, l'apostrophe, elle est un grand animal qui vit dans les forêts nordiques. Nordique means from the north. Donc forêt, forest. What animal lives in the forest? You have to tell me. Little recap, those words are chat, rose, élan, herbe, arbre. Okay? If you're not sure, you can either go back on the little slides that we just saw, but little thing, if you want a little help, you just have to help you to look at the first word and the first letter of the word and look if it's a consonant or a vowel and an H. Depending on that, you know what pronoun you should use. So if you see le la, that probably means that your next word is going to start with a consonant. If you see l'apostrophe, it's maybe a vowel or H, but I'm not going to tell you more. Okay, you can try to do this exercise. I hope that you liked today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we have a lot of other videos coming. We talked about a lot of different subjects on that channel, so if you want to check that out, feel free to see every video. And if you have any question, you can reach us on our social media, on Instagram. We're waiting for you, and I wish you all a good end of your week, and I'm seeing you next week for another video. Salut!